I've been thinking a lot about what makes me the way I am. If I had any choice in becoming the person I am now, or if it just sort of happened. I think a lot of it has to do with the people and the places and all the things that happen along the way, throughout your whole life. The first time anyone goes somewhere, they're probably only looking, mostly because there's nothing to see yet. But as time goes by, if you go back to the places you used to love, you'll probably see something else. Something that you couldn't have ever known the last time you were there. When you have a history somewhere, it can stop looking like it used to, because all you can see is your past. Looking is just visual, but seeing has so much more to it. When you see something enough, you can't just look at it anymore. You can see things that other people would never even know. Most experiences don't leave a physical mark, but they still make us who we are, and time can't change that. Where do we come from? We come from our past, and the things that made us who we are, the places and the people and everything in between. Where we come from can only be seen because there's just too much there. You can't just look. Whatever it is, it's part of your past now, and there's no changing it. The past is concrete. You can't change where you come from, and what you see can't be unseen. Where are we going? Into things that haven't happened yet, into ideas and thoughts. You can look into where you're going, and you can spend your whole life planning for other things. You could spend your whole life asking when, and you might never find the answer. Because as much as you can look to the future, there's really nothing there. At least not yet. But then once it does happen, it becomes where we came from. Who are we? We are the past, the present, and the future. The sum of everything that we were and everything we could be. You're only one person, but you're also a little bit of everyone that's ever mattered to you. Your first best friend, your family, the people you've just met, and the people who you hope will always be there. You're the places that you've looked at and the places you've really seen. Places that you've only been to once and places you've been to a million times. Places where you grew up. Places that you call home. All of these people and these places will change with time. The people you loved can become strangers, but strangers can also become the people that you can't live without. Time decides who we are. It decides where we're going, and it decides where we've been. People like the illusion of control. I know that I live for it. The second change hits me, I'm a wreck. But change is inevitable, just like time is. Change and time, my two least favorite things. And just when I think that it can't get worse, I realize that there's no avoiding them. They'll keep coming back for me, just like they come back for everyone else. We think we can get it all together eventually, and that someday we'll figure everything out. But we're not in charge. You don't get to decide who will stay in your life, and you don't get to pick what illnesses you get. You don't get to choose what happens to the people you love, and you can't decide how long you'll have to figure out everything. How long you get to decide what you're doing with your life. We're not in charge at all. All we can do is make the best of what time's given us. We have to just pick a direction and go with it. Because just as time always goes on, we go on too. Where do we come from, where are we going, and who are we? Those are 3 questions that I will probably never know the answer to. And as much as that tears me up inside, it just is what it is. We can't spend all our time focused on that, or else we'll never get anywhere. Seeing is like an acid. It destroys what you were looking at. We know time won't go on forever, because it's a social construct that we made up. And that makes people desperate. They're always looking for more. We've only got so much time to figure everything out, to answer the questions that we always wondered about. We're always looking, but maybe if we did more seeing, we'd finally figure something out. Answering one of life's unanswerable questions. We're all looking for meaning, and maybe one day we'll get to see it. That is, if we don't run out of time first.